Good Monday, Cup of Sales Joe. So I like the challenge of writing pertinent, timely messages, and I get feedback from people about topics that you may be dealing with or music you'd like to hear here, and I really like the idea of putting a certain topic with certain music that may not be an obvious link. And today, I'm going to put three things together, and it'll be a challenge, so hang with me. Two topics and one musical inspiration that I just found this week. I will bring the idea of distractions to our work, together with the topic of self-reflection, all with the backdrop of bluegrass music. How about that? Well, let's start mixing this together and see where we go. Some of you may know that I'm a pretty big fan of bluegrass music, and I've highlighted several different artists from that genre on previous messages. Today I'd like to highlight a particular bluegrass song. You know, if you're familiar with the Bluegrass Playbook, if you're a bluegrass artist or group, it's mandatory that you have at least 7 songs about trains. Likewise, as part of my musical messages, I need to do at least 3 bluegrass-based messages per year. So, this is the first one for the year. And every once in a while you come across not just some interesting music, but a specific song that catches your ear, both musically and lyrically. I just happened to catch wind of one of these last week, and it became an earworm for me and has evolved into this message. Let's get started.
Moving slow and steady, sipping on a cup of joe instead of getting ready. I stopped to watch a TV show that caught my attention, though it wasn't my intention.
Hey CSJ, how would you like a partner that warms you inside, smooths out your mood, and maybe even gives you some energy that you need to conquer your day? Well, I can't make any promises that any one person will do that, but I can promise you that the right coffee will. And for me and lots of my listeners, that coffee is Mad Goat Coffee. And to make it easy, Sam the owner has extended a special offer of 10% off any order when you use the code CSJ. So, visit madgoatcoffee.com. Find some great stuff I know you'll love, and use code CSJ to save 10%. So, how many of you can relate to Milan's message here? What I love about his approach here is his easy admission of what sometimes some of us try to hide, that we are human, fallible, and certainly vulnerable to all the distractions that the world offers. In fact, one step towards helping us keep our focus is admitting that sometimes we're going to slip and need to give ourselves a little bit of forgiveness and a little bit of understanding. Rather than beat yourself up, realize that it happens, and maybe, like Milan, you learn, as we go in this song, to laugh about it and work a little bit harder at succeeding more of the time. What happens if you just stop and be with yourself? Where does your mind go, and where could it go? Self-reflection may feel uncomfortable or self-indulgent. Too much to do, no time for that. We don't like being bored or frustrated or uncomfortable. We want what we want, and we want it right now. Completely focused on instant gratification. We feel that need with distractions, and whatever gives us immediate relief, we go for. But there's more distractions than ever before. So where's that leading to? I'm sure you can recall the other feeling that you might get of frustration when you've gone through another week and you haven't accomplished what you want to. You feel you haven't really done anything. Your brain is buzzing with alertness, but you're strangely dissatisfied. Feels like something is missing, that you could have spent your time better. If you do not take the time to self-reflect, you will never know what that better is. When we live distracted, which is inevitable, the key is to reconnect as frequently and as easily as possible with what that better is. How good are you at regularly connecting with your better.
An old friend stopping by just to say hello. No matter how I try, I can't get up and go. Already running late. I guess the world will have to wait.
We all have a map for our lives. Our map represents our values and what's most important for us. It gives us direction. How often do you consult your map? We all do this when we reach a fork in the road or a dead end, or the big losses or the big decisions of life, or a milestone event that forces us to self-reflect. But aside from those, sometimes we just keep walking. Then add in our instant gratification mindset, suddenly you are being controlled by that petulant mind of yours, and you forget that you have a map. At times you need to ignore that primal need for distraction and look at your map. So let's move on to one of my favorite parts of this song, and that's the chorus.
My wherewithal ain't there at all until my back's against the wall, splitting all the fuss into fractions. Through disruptions and disarray, diversions help clear the way. I don't know how I'd make it through the day without distraction.
Let's see. How many different names for distraction does he come up with? Fuss, diversion, disarray. It's a pretty good collection of what happens to us sometimes on a daily or weekly basis. And the twist that I love about this song is that he not only recognizes that he's gotten distracted, but he's almost thankful for them. He's learned to live with them. Certainly tongue-in-cheek. It's almost as if he's saying what we currently call life is fraught with these things that take us off track, to the point of ubiquity. What would our lives be without distraction? I ask that you ask yourself that question to, instead of just recognizing its impact, to really ask, what would you be capable of without letting distractions dominate your time? What happens if our map is our guide rather than what's in front of us?
Sorting through the details, dancing around the deadlines, bouncing off the guardrails in a life filled with landmines. I cuss, then I pray, I wouldn't have it any other way.
When we are aligned with our values, we can be happier, more fulfilled, more satisfied, and more successful. But we need self-reflection to connect with these values. Purposeful self-reflection and purposeful daydreaming can improve our emotional awareness. It can spark your creativity, helps with problem solving, strengthens empathy and compassion. When self-reflection is done with purpose, it can create better selves and better lives. But you don't need to wait for a fork in the road or a milestone event to do this. Let me ask you this. 5 years from now, where would your life be if you self-reflected at least 10 minutes a day instead of self-distracting? Focus inward. Be inspired by where your thoughts can take you. You may have heard before me say that what we do at Friday at 4 p.m. is just as important and valuable as what you do at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday. So, if you haven't done this, let me give you 2 more ways to get ahead, literally, of this. Debrief at night and plan. Also spend a little time in self-reflection. When the time comes when you would normally run for social media or television or some other activity that gives you instant gratification, I ask that you stop, take a breath, and be with yourself. Use some empathy and compassion and curiosity to connect with yourself and your map. If you do this regularly, you'll still get distracted, but you'll develop the skill to stay connected to what you want to accomplish, and more of the times than not, you'll start following your map rather than wherever the distractions are taking you. Have a great week.
Without distraction.